right, don't forget trading is risky, but if trading is for you, this might also be the place for you. Make sure you follow us over here on our Instagram, especially, and of course, Discord here if you want to learn. Tonight's video is specifically to go directly into the details of it. If you want to learn all the details on the things, the pre-steps for all this stuff, and knowing our lesson library, you're going to need to go through that, the lessons 1 through 6 at least to start in the free section. And members, make sure that you are correlating this with the core before you see this pattern setup. All right, so don't take this video as like everything, all encompassing. We're gonna cover as much as possible, but these are meant to be short and quick to the point to find out what the Riche is. So what is the Riche? Let's look at what it actually looks like. I'm gonna draw in some lines here. So we're gonna have a drop, typically a little beehive trap, what we kind of call a little mess. It's gonna look like a little miniature beehive. We're gonna be looking like we're coming down a little bit farther. And we get the oomph and the oomph. Now, a lot of traders, what happens with this? This is what you're going to be looking for in the Riche, okay? Simple as that. I want you to be looking for this on your charts. That little setup right there. Now, you're going to need to have a big leg coming down. You're going to need one of those impulse legs coming into a zone, right? Now, there can be all kinds of other things up on the left-hand side. We talk about approaches to locations. You'll learn that in our distribution, accumulation video series. That's, I believe, video number 13 in training. But this Riche setup, we are looking to find this trap. Let's talk about all the things that go on here as this trap setup comes in. First, you see the impulse leg. Lots of traders are going to be seeing this. This is kind of like all eyeballs on the market when you see a big drop into an area. Now, what we're going to be looking for is traders are going to be looking to get a continuation move off of a big impulse leg like this. And oftentimes this comes with some speed, this comes with some momentum, and everybody starts being like, oh man, did you see that move in the whatever? This can be NASDAQ, Dow, Russell, E-mini, S&P, it can be a stock, doesn't matter. But this is the setup we're looking for. What happens is, as this comes into this zone, we start to get the little pullback zones. You might get a few traders just trying to catch a reversal right away. Okay, so we're going to try to remember how I've taught you guys how things get wrecked in the markets. You're going to be needing that little zone of accumulation, right? We've just come through a distribution. You got a little miniature accumulation right here. Oftentimes comes with a volume spike. In our case, we'll typically see something with some speed. We'll maybe see a cross come up in this location, but we're going to be looking for this first. You need to have this little, what I kind of call the chukka chukka chukka, very, very minute movement in this little space. And then the big move up and out, you're going to get some reversal traders trying to push this long, okay? And they might start to, okay, get excited about, pulling a reversal, but you're going to oftentimes have a lot of pullback traders. The ones that really get wrecked in this area are those pullback traders. Okay, now right here, you're going to have the ones that are trying to catch the, the mean reversal. Mean reversals. Those traders are going to be trying to catch that move up when they start to come back down. What ends up happening is they oftentimes will get very scared right here. They'll bail out. A lot of times their stops, first group of individuals who get stopped out are going to get stopped out right about here, right? They're going to put their stops, a couple ticks down below the low. All right, you see this big, and mind you, this V right here is kind of key to this whole thing. Let's highlight that. Let me get some orange here, make our screen's nice and colorful. All right. So the V right here, really, this is sort of like that. This creates emotion. This V down, in this case, again, we're looking for a reverse, an upward movement. This plays the other direction as well. So, the Riche does not have to look like this. This is, I'm going to talk about the long situation. This also works in the opposite direction, okay? But this is an upside down V. If it's the other way, it looks like a V. You see this thing coming in. This drives that emotional movement. You get the continuation traders really trying to go, okay, pullback traders, some of them might get in. They're going to go short around here maybe as it continue to move. They get excited. They're pushing back in. Right here, they'll start to get heavy because they're looking over here to the left. They're seeing that distribution zone. This is actually, in general, if you're taking a pullback, this is where a pullback trader is going to try to take that and get that continuation move to get another downward leg, right? And they're looking for, they see this, and oftentimes what you're going to be looking for is the speed of the down move. Okay, yeah, if this is slow and sluggish and it's grinding, okay, that's not going to be key. This is one of those things that you need inside of this Riche. Okay, the visual is one thing, but look, you're going to see these in different charts, but in real time, what creates that excitement and momentum around this pullback, you want to get a lot of pullback traders trapped in this zone, then quickly stop out the people who are reversals, and then I'll show you the next move that we're looking for. Remember, we're talking about an actual reversal trap strategy. We want to catch these guys off guard, and we're going to ride the other side of that position. Okay, so as the move starts to come down into this area, we typically want to see, we hope that we can get a small break of this pivot down here, maybe by 1 or 2 ticks, which is also in our wheelhouse. We call this a 1-tick wonder. Literally goes 1 or 2 ticks down below the current low, then starts to push back up in the opposite direction. Okay, so what does that look like? This trade tends to come down a little bit farther. Oops. If I can use my shift key or get a little straighter here. Okay, we're coming right down about here. We break that low. You'll see lots more traders. Oftentimes you'll push this break, you'll see a volume spike come in here. That's typically stops, get and run. Plus you get the breakout traders, right? So now breakout traders start to get in here. Let's list the other people who are getting trapped now at this location. Okay, breakout traders getting trapped right about here because they're like, okay, here we go. Oh, great. Okay, I'm entering in right here. I'm going to get short. Okay, they're trying to get short right here. You got the pullback traders getting in short, trying to get that down move. But all of that gets collected, accumulated, and what you will see next is a little maybe another and then voom, voom. Okay, at this stage, when the price gets to about this location, this is where the panic begins. Okay, let's do a little red here for the panic. Okay, right about that section at this move, watch for the panic. Okay, panic, and you may have been one of these traders at some point in your career. I think we've all been there. You learn this, you know, as you go, and you see these types of setups occur. Okay, it might give a little dunt, like, okay, we're going to keep going. Like, okay, oh, I feel better. These pullback traders and the breakout traders. You know, typically the reversal traders, they're like the least hurt here. Like they might have lost a little bit as they went down, but you know, they're like, let me just see what happens, okay? They're watching this to see what goes. But you get these breakouts and the reversal trade or in the pullback traders really getting excited about trying to get that down move, but kind of does one of these and then whoop, and you're like, they get really, really panicky right here, okay? Reversal traders start to see this. They're like, oh man, I see a break of that high here. Let me see, maybe I want to jump back in. They're maybe not ready quite yet. Okay, but this thing ends up doing one of these numbers, and next thing you know, we are off to the races. Okay, now this doesn't necessarily have to do this one, but when you see one of these, it's even more powerful. Oftentimes turns into, you'll probably recognize a J hook. I won't go into the details of that tonight. Those are in our other videos, but you will oftentimes see the J hook combined with this, which makes this very, very powerful. When you see the Riche plus the J hook, amazing work. Right? In this structure, everything, if you are a veteran trader with us in AlgoBox, you're probably seeing, number one, you got a beehive. We've got our impulse leg. We've got our V down. We've got our 1-tick wonder. Then we've got our J hook. All of those should be starting to be recognized in some setup like this. And what we love even better when we get a little green dot around here that gives us from AlgoBox. Again, I'm showing you guys a strategy tonight that you don't actually need AlgoBox for this, although you need the algo bars to really see this well. You can do this on other types of bars, not really minute bars, not any time-based bars, but on range bars or our algo bars, this is very, very visual, and I'm gonna show you guys that here tonight. Now, the other way that this can form is a straight up move right above here. You get absolute panic mode right here. Oftentimes you'll see a big spike in volume right about here. You'll get a cross entry coming in from our Flowmaster product, and it's telling you we're ready to go. You might start to hear the audio box start to really get going when we get past this point, and everybody, I mean, you get these stop runs starting to pump. You get the reversal traders now jumping in. The momentum of this really shifts hard into that direction, okay? Now, one other preface to all this, if you're using AlgoBox, again, these are for traders who are not using AlgoBox, this still works for you, but if you're using AlgoBox, one additional thing that you really want to have with you is the favorable direction. Okay, now the favorable direction is either, you know, our red or our green. In this case, we're looking for a green favorable direction, and that reversal, we get this nice big move down. We're going with the favorable direction. This thing can be held very, very long. Okay, this is a huge trade. Oftentimes, you know, this can be at a minimum a 25 tick trade for your first target, and then often you'll just keep sitting that run. Especially, told you guys we talk about what time of day. Okay, what time of day does this play the best? During the beast mode. I got a bunch of red over there. Let's put it right here. I should say best time of day. Let's do best time of day because look, it can happen any time of day. But best time of day for one of these is between 1 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, also known as our beast mode hours, right in the middle of the day. This is where you can literally catch a continuation reversal that goes with the favorable direction, and this can be an all-day, rest of the day move if you're holding out those runners. Again, if you are in your final 40 days with us, we're practicing hitting those, you know, home run trades, and you're executing those. This is a great